Today, I think, was a little bit harder just because sleep has been evading me and it is starting to affect just my day to day. When I think about how I was feeling throughout work today, it was a consistent like fog of fatigue that came over me. So definitely need to be conscientious of that. So just thinking through the day, aside from just the general fog of sleepiness that I've had, I think I crushed it today. It was a pretty successful day. As I think about the different meetings that I had a lot of insight in that regard, talking about work. I also went to my woodworking shop, my carpentry class today. It was a cool day. And then hit the gym today and got a personal max when it came to my deadlift. So your boy's feeling strong. From a nutrition standpoint, uh, so the main courses were fine. My meal prepping is still going well, and I think it is giving me the energy that I need. I found the right balance of food to really supply my body with the energy that it needs, but my discipline is still like wavering, right? I can be really disciplined in some areas of my life, and I acknowledge this. But when I refocus my discipline in one area, another area slips. And today it was my diet. I had a couple of treats. I think because I haven't been running this week, my equilibrium is a little bit off on what I feel like I can and can't indulge in. But as I'm saying it out loud, it's really not that bad. Which brings me to another point as I'm thinking about just life and how we move through it. We are hypercritical of ourselves, and we will find the worst in our actions despite what other people might see. And sometimes saying something out loud can really help reveal the truth behind what the truth is. I know this because as I was coaching one of my team members today, we were doing a career coaching and just talking about his 5 year plan. He made a really astute point that I'm going to steal from him in the moment, where he says he has all of this information in his head and it just sits up there and it festers and it seems like it's unachievable or it's a really tall mountain to climb and it's intimidating. But once we started speaking about it, we put a plan together and he said it out loud. He made the plan plain. And I think that's something that we do quite often where we grandize the thoughts that we have in our head. We look at these objectives and these tasks that we have and these goals that we have for our life and these things that we want to achieve and where we want to go, and we make them seem so grand in our head. We put them on a pedestal, and some people become paralyzed by fear because of that, right? Because there's just so much that has to happen to achieve this lofty goal that you become paralyzed by it. But an important lesson that I learned today, or was reminded of today rather, was that saying it out loud makes it real. Exploring how to do it makes it achievable. So I think I'll be fine to tie it all together and end this because I'm starting to ramble and get long-winded. But to tie it all together, I think I'm going to be fine in my journey to self-discovery and exploring these gifts and parts of myself. So so it's another day, and high key getting easier. Still a lot of exhaustion. Would be lying if I said I wasn't a tired man today, but I'm feeling the clarity. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been expecting a lot of the physiological changes that my body's been going through and been coping and preparing myself for it. Drinking my caffeine, overhydrating myself with a bunch of water. Been restful, mindful. I've laid off on working out a little bit this week just in exchange for trying to figure out how my baseline reset is going to change my energy levels. So far, so good. Again, struggling through the day with my energy levels, but I think that's a direct reflection of just how much sleep I haven't been getting. However, the mental clarity, I can feel it sharpening. I was doing a task today, and it was a task that I didn't really want to do. It's something that I have to do weekly. However, as I was going through it, things were just clicking in a way that they typically don't, which feels a little bit early, especially since it's only been about 4 days for them things. You see them since I quit using marijuana, and I'm happy. I think it's a decision, a good decision to be made. Now, it's not to say that things ain't hard. I've been texting friends and just close ones, and I've had a couple of people that I've explained what I'm doing to. Other group of people who have offered me weed because they know that's something that I've consumed for many years. But I think everybody that I've spoken to has given me generally positive feedback. So I'm super excited about it. And thankful that I've got like a community around me because I think that's what's going to be important here. Super excited to have this community around me. Work is good. I don't really have from work today. Let's see. I struggled to get out of bed this morning, so I was a little bit late coming into work. But I had some meetings, and my team really raised my spirits because I started off the day contemplating not going to work at all, to be honest with you. But once I got there, started reading, started interacting, it made me feel happy. Corporate life is comfortable, it's predictable, it is great for people who have a family and have a need like that constant and reoccurring payment or reoccurring invoice or reoccurring check, right? They need that salary to be on time and they can't really afford to have any variance in that, right? They don't have a lot of variables in their lives that they can sacrifice. I'm not in that place right now, right? I'm a single man. I just have Bruce here with me and we are doing well. God has been good. I've been blessed. So I want to be a better steward of what He has given me, right? That's a better steward of what I currently have, a better steward of the gifts that I have, and a better steward of sharing what I learn with those around me. He's called me for more, and I've got to do more. I even had the thought today that I need to go beyond these four walls. By these four walls, I mean my house, and get into the streets because I think that's where the real work is. I'm in my 30s, 34, going to be 35 in a little bit less than 2 months. And I've learned a lot, gathered a lot in my life. And I think I've got some things to share with those people who are younger than me or even my peers because life be life. And I think we all could have somebody to talk to. So, the moral of this story, of this recording, of this check in, is that I'm feeling really good. Despite the physiological issues that I'm facing right now, aka not really sleeping that well, I'm not going through withdrawals in the typical sense of like I'm sweating and constantly thinking about it. It really doesn't cross my mind throughout the day. Praises to God for that. 2 days until my race, the Skechers 10K. I'm a little bit concerned about with these changes and the lack of sleep and the lack of appetite. I forgot to talk about that. I haven't been eating as much as I usually do as somebody who is running and lifting weights. Usually I can throw back like 3 meals a day and they're hefty meals, but I'm struggling to get through like my lunch and my dinner now. And what I was eating before, I've had to cut it in half because my appetite is like nothing. So that combined with the lack of sleep has me a little bit concerned about my 10K run coming up in a couple of days. So pray for me. Hopefully it goes well. And I'll. All right. It is February 13th, the day before Valentine's. I don't have a Valentine's, so let's just go and get that out of the way. All right. But I'm logging another entry on this sobriety journey as I move towards Michael 3.0. Again, thanks, Sean. Um, Starting off with just how I'm feeling physiologically, it was another trying day. I think I hit the wall somewhere around 2 o'clock, and from 2 to about 6 was just a struggle. Uh, if I had to pin it down, my mind wasn't foggy. It was sharp, but I could definitely feel the fatigue. So it was a different type of struggle to concentrate today. Not in the sense of I felt like I'm fighting against the fog and I'm feeling sluggish. I felt sluggish because I'm fighting against the sleep deprivation. I'm not getting the amount of sleep that I need every night. Monday through Friday has just been a struggle with getting some sleep in. So now that I'm at the end of the initial 5 days of this sobriety, I'm definitely feeling the compound effects of me not sleeping well. So that's number one. From a health perspective, so like a physical fitness perspective, I definitely feel like I have more endurance. Went for a run today, and man, my lungs felt like I was breathing efficiently. So I'm gonna really test it tomorrow. I think tomorrow will just be that baseline for me to really see like how far I can go post sobriety with this 10K sketches run. But it was definitely, I definitely felt a difference versus before. So I want to see what my mental toughness looks like tomorrow. I'm shooting for a 50-minute time on this 10K, which is somewhere around like an 8:20 mile, which is a little bit faster than what I usually do. But when I'm training versus when I'm racing are two different paces. So looking forward to that. Speaking of which, need to make sure I get some sleep tonight because I'll need to be up early tomorrow. I need to be at the parking lot by 6:30 because your boy is not trying to pay too much for parking. Your boy's not trying to sit in traffic, and most of all, your boy's not trying to miss this event tomorrow. Paid $75. I went and got the Expo baggie today, and I'm gonna be there. Hopefully you are too. It's gonna be a good time. All right, so talking about my day just continued. It was a pretty good day, all things considered. When I think about where I started with the day and where I ended today, overall, I made a lot of progress professionally. I don't think corporate America is my long-term goal. Truthfully, I don't see myself being in corporate America past the age of 40. The aim is somewhere around 38 to have this up and running and be its own stream of income. That's 3 years from now. So really got to hit the ground running. On top of that, also working through my carpentry. This week was a milestone because we finally transitioned from the classroom portion and now we're actually doing the hands-on power tools and building things. So I'm super excited about that. Built my first thing this week and looking forward to Monday so we can continue to build and grow on this. Again, this is a passion. It's something I've been doing without any formal training, right? I got some tips and tricks and learned from my dad growing up and then being a homeowner over the past however many years at this point, since 2017. I've learned a lot about owning a home and how to maintain it, and I've had to learn how to do a lot of these things that we're learning in the class. But it feels great to have formal training behind it because there are more efficient ways that I'm learning how to make the precise cut, right? Or how do I properly mark off where I need to drill a hole, right? All of that to say, I'm going at a million miles an hour, right? I'm working 40, 50 hours a week in my current role. I'm leading a large team of 11 to support a client that is a multi-million-dollar client for my corporation. So there's a lot of pressure in that way, while simultaneously also trying to grow and create other streams of income. It's a lot on my plate, so I want to be intentional, take my time to relax at least once a week. So I'm saying it now, Sundays or Saturdays. Actually, I'm going to make it Saturdays. Saturdays are going to be my days to let my hair down and just kind of relax. Sundays are always going to be shaped around getting myself prepared for the week and catching up on anything that I might have missed in the previous week. But I've got to build some time in my life to relax. I was also thinking about this today. Loneliness is a motherfucker. And as I'm spending more time in my sobriety, I'm realizing that I used weed and alcohol and all of that to kind of mask that feeling of loneliness, right? When you have the euphoria that THC brings, it kind of masks some deeper seated issues that you may have. And I'm realizing that I spend a lot of time in these four walls. I even touched on it a little bit yesterday where I was talking about I need to take my talents and my gifts outside these four walls. But to go even deeper, to talk about what it is that Michael needs, that's coming in the future. You'll see more videos and projects of me exploring the city of Charlotte because there's a lot to explore out there. Not tonight, but future Fridays and Saturdays. I'm going to make more of a concerted effort.